New York.
Mr. Speaker, I urge my colleagues to open up the text of the rule before today and for good measure the underlying legislation as well and hit Control F on the words Affordable Care Act. They will quickly see that despite their fixation on making everything about the topic, nowhere in this rule or the underlying legislation is the Affordable Care Act, ACA subsidies, or marketplace coverage mentioned. But the policies that they are working and hopefully, there will be further bipartisan discussions about, were set to expire by their own hand at the end of a 5-year window because it was COVID emergency spending. And I don't think I'm breaking any news here, but COVID's over. And that is something that Democrats don't seem to want to ever end, is an unlimited spigot of public money devoted to an issue. We have to get to the core reasons why health insurance for all, not just those that are on Affordable Care Act plans, but for people in private insurance, all the public expenditures through our Medicare and our Medicaid programs. Why is health care an explosive cost year over year? And that is going to take bipartisanship and working together and putting some of these petty fights aside. Because even if we extended these credits for 3 years as they would like, it doesn't solve the problem for the millions upon millions and tens of millions of Americans that are on private pay insurance. We have to really get serious about affordability and health insurance affordability in the cost of delivering our health care in this country. Their remedy to this problem is putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. And it is a expiration that is by their own hand and own design because it was designed for COVID-era emergency spending. As a reminder, the measures in this rule are straightforward and common sense. Strengthening energy reliability and tackling affordability in this area. Streamlining permitting so that infrastructure can actually get built. Restoring certainty to domestic supply chains and trusting science over ideology in wildlife management. And advancing public safety measures that protect our communities. These bills are about lowering costs and keeping the lights on and restoring accountability. That is the agenda before us in this rule today. That is an important agenda to the American people and the affordability issues that stand before us in our future prosperity. Democrats want to lecture us about being serious on energy, but the American people remember exactly what 4 years of Democratic energy policy delivered. Under President Biden, Democrats drove up costs, weakened our electrical grid, and forced the premature retirement of reliable baseload power. They flooded the market with mandates and subsidies picked by Washington, not by engineers, and then acted surprised when electricity prices spiked and grid operators started warning about blackouts. And when those prices spiked, the price of everything spiked because increased electricity and energy costs drive up the price of all goods and services. Families paid more, reliability got worse, and Democrats told Americans that somehow it was all worth it. Now that President Trump's back in office and reversing that damage, Democrats suddenly claim that these bills are partisan, not because they're extreme, but because they expose how reckless the last administration was. President Trump and House Republicans are doing what Democrats refuse to do. Streamlining permitting so that projects can actually get built, restoring common sense to environmental review, and prioritizing dispatchable power sources that actually keep the lights on and the heat on in this country. The truth is, Democrats don't have a serious answer to rising energy demand, grid reliability, or affordability. Their answer is just, throw up a few more windmills, and all will be well with the world. We can shutter every other power plant that has proven baseline power. In the windmills and the solar panels will solve all the problems. Their solution is always the same: more mandates, more subsidies, more regulation, and hope that the grid holds together by wishes and dreams, not by science and practicality. Republicans are offering something different: policies grounded in reliability and affordability and domestic American production, so American families aren't left paying more while China builds coal plant after coal plant month after month and laughs all the way to the bank. And Mr. Speaker, That's exactly what this rule advances. The energy bills before us are common sense measures to strengthen reliability, streamline approvals, and support American jobs, as well as ensure that American families have access to affordable American power. Not slogans, not lectures, not dreams and wishful thinking. So if my colleagues across the aisle are truly serious about lowering costs and securing Americans' energy future, they should stop posturing and support this rule, because Americans don't need more talking points. They need the lights to stay on. And I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman reserves the balance of his time.